Hello, I am Staff Sergeant Foreman of Signals Dave Jarvis, and this video is part of a series of vlogs I'm doing with the aim of improving and encouraging cycling around the Royal Corps of Signals. Today I'm going to focus on a particularly important subject, in my opinion, helmets. Why I think they're important, key things to look for when you're buying one, how to fit them correctly, and then a few extra characteristics that you might want to bear in mind when choosing your helmet. Now, first and foremost, in the UK, it is not a legal requirement for cyclists to wear helmets. If you read the Highway Code, and I recommend all road users do, or at least familiarise yourself with it, you'll note it uses words like should and could. It does not say we must or that we're required to wear them. However, if you're watching this and you take nothing else away from this video, please give it serious thought. If you're not already using a helmet, it is important. I genuinely hope that everyone watching this, that nobody has to put one to the test for real. It's one of those items that it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. I've had 3 serious crashes during racing. Serious in that I was hospitalised, 2 of which involved impacts to my head, and I'm in no doubt that were it not for a properly fitted helmet, things could have been a lot worse. I kept one of the helmets as a bit of a keepsake, and you can see sort of what looks like minor denting on the outside, but on closer inspection, you can see a pretty tasty crack up these 2 sections here, and another one at the top here. Yeah, if I hadn't had that on, or it hadn't been fitted correctly, that could have been my head. Bottom line, I have seen worse situations. I've seen worse impacts on helmets in the past. If you are one of these individuals and you want to share your story in the comments, please feel free to. It reinforces the point. It is important. So if you're not using one, please give it serious thought. So what to look for? What is it you can look for in a helmet to give you reassurance that it's going to protect you if the time ever came? And that's fairly simple. This should be symbols that you're fairly familiar with. You may well have seen them several times around the home. And that is the British Standards Institution and the Conformity European, excuse the pronunciation. But essentially those symbols there say that a product has been made, produced to the appropriate standard. And you'll see that on an array of products all around the house. Example being, you're probably watching this on your phone or tablet. If you turn it over now and look on the back of it, you should see one or both of those symbols. Cycling is not unique. It conforms to the same bodies, so to speak. The specific standards that apply to helmets, however, I've listed on the board behind me. I've also included the ones that relate to children's helmets as well for the parents. And for anyone who wants that extra layer of reassurance, there are bodies that apply a greater level of scrutiny. The Snell Memorial Foundation is the next one on the list down there. That's one that you can look for. The standards are there for that. If you are getting into e-biking, electric biking, the average speeds for those are considered to be higher, and helmets are put to another standard that's come out recently that's unique to that as well. So as one to bear in mind. If you want more information on those, feel free to ask in the comments. I'm more than happy to try and direct you to the right places, but they're ones to bear in mind. If you're going to a shop, ask. You should see these symbols on the packaging, on the instructions or specification manual inside, and one or both of them on the inside of the helmet as well. So how do you fit a helmet in? Now, when you pick your helmet, first and foremost, I recommend you go brand new. Don't go second hand. It's the same principle as buying a car seat for your kids. You don't know what's happened to it in the past. Any impact to that helmet, it needs to be replaced afterwards, because it could have an impact on the integrity of it, and it may not protect you as well in the future. So if you're considering getting second hand, or you've got one that you've had a bit of a bashing before, don't go brand new. That's my advice. Anyway, get your helmet. What to do is make sure everything's loose as it can be to start with. You've got both the straps and the retention system on the back. You should find like a dial of some kind with like what sounds like a ratchet inside it. Loosen it right off, and when you put it on your head, pull the straps down just to make sure nothing's bunched up. And what you should find is it should fit snugly but comfortable, and it shouldn't be too loose. So you should not be able to get a finger between your forehead and the inside of the helmet. Okay, if you can, then you want to try the size down. Once you've got that sorted, the next thing is to tighten up the retention system to its comfortable limit. And if it all fits you properly, what you should find is it will stay on your head with even with a bit of vigorous movement. So a little bit shaking around in all different angles. It's a simple test. Get the funky grooves on, and it should stay put. Okay. Bottom line is the retention system is there to keep the helmet in place through normal use. Okay. Your strap is only there to keep it in place in the event of an impact. Okay. You should be able to get, when it's done up, you should be able to get 2 or 3 fingers at the most between the strap and your chin. Okay, and then there's a buckle on either side that should sit below your ears. There's 2 straps that come down the side. They should sit flush to your head. They should not dig in. They should not press against your ears. They shouldn't be pushing your ears in some odd angle or anything like that. It should be comfortable, okay? And that's it. So the other little thing I do for my own personal reassurance, because of the kind of glass I've got, it depends, there's different shapes and sizes, but I can fit 1 finger between the top of my glasses and the bottom of my helmet. It's one little thing I do. It gives me that extra layer of reassurance just before I go out that everything's in the right place. You may be able to do the same depending on the glasses you've got, but it's little things like that, just give you that extra layer of reassurance. Once you've got all this all done up, you shouldn't have to change that again. So when you take it off, the only thing you should have to undo is the retention system. Undo it all the way, and off it comes. Simple as that. So when you put it back on again, you just need to tighten up the retention, do the strap together, and away you go. The only caveat to that is in the winter, if you're going to use the same helmet, be prepared to adjust the straps again, because you're likely going to use things like head scarves and things of that nature. You probably have to readjust around those, so just bear that in mind. Yeah, hopefully that helps you get one properly fitted to you. Key characteristics then with helmets. If you're just starting out, this is probably a better example. If you're just starting out, this is the first helmet I had. It did what it was supposed to do, as I've shown. This was, I think, £30, £35, I think. The key difference between this one and a more expensive version, so I invested a bit more after my crash because I saw the benefit of it. So this one was about double the price. The main differences between these, as you'll see, is the size of the vents. So there's better ventilation in this one, and this one's also lighter. Okay, they're the sort of characteristics that you will get for a similar type helmet, if that makes sense. The other features that you can get by spending a bit more money is you can get sort of more versatile helmets. So if you're considering getting into racing, time trialing, things of that nature, you'll want to get something with more aerodynamics in mind. Key fact, that more vents mean less aerodynamics. So it's something you want to consider. Now this one enables me to have adjustable vents on the front. I can take this section off and apply more vents. So in the summer it kind of covers me off there. I've got another section on the top that I can take off because I've got a camera mount fitted to this one. Key point there, the reason I'm showing this is because if you're going to use a camera mount, you've got to go through the same tests when you put it on again, because the mount will add weight and it may impact how you have your helmet fitted as well, in that you might have to have it a little bit tighter in order to keep it secure. That's the key factors to bear in mind. Is more money means you'll get a little bit more functionality, you'll get more better ventilation or better aerodynamics, rarely both at the same time, but it'll also be a lot lighter as well. So that's what you'll get by spending more money. An additional feature that you might get with more money is something called MIPS, Multi-Directional Impact Protection System. The helmet will be the same for all intents and purposes, the same standards, it'll be made to, but inside it you'll also have like a plastic membrane, which will, in the result of an impact, it will give your head the ability to move slightly within the helmet, depending which direction it goes in, which direction the impact comes from, and it basically takes some of the force out of the impact and reduces the risk of brain injury. It is quite a good innovation. It adds a bit more protection, but it comes at a little bit more cost as well. Some brands don't use it, some brands do, but that's something to bear in mind if you're particularly interested in keeping in safety as well. Pretty much covered all the main points. If you've got any questions, ask. I've hopefully kept it reasonably clear. If you've got your own experiences, please add them. Like I said earlier, it reinforces the point. And yeah, any further future topic with suggestions, please fire them in. Next week's will be nutrition, including fluids, when you're out on the bike. As always, thank you very much for your time and look forward to the next one.